Student, up to yesterday's lecture, we discussed solubility and factors affecting solubility. As we know that solubility in solute in solvent depend upon three main factors. So which are they? First factor we discussed, that is nature of both solvent as well as solute. Second factor, that is effect of temperature on solubility of solid in liquid. As we know that as temperature increases, solubility of solid in liquid also increases. However, that is varied for certain components. How that is varied we discussed already through the graph in previous lecture. Now third factor, that is effect of pressure on solubility of an solute in solvent. So as we know that there is no effect of pressure on solubility of solid and liquid because pressure is the not property of solid and liquid because they are incompressible. However, solubility is greatly affected. Solubility is pressure greatly affect that solubility of gas in liquid. So how that solubility is affected, for understanding purpose of this point we are going to discuss. And next point of our chapter, that is Henry's law. Now what is Henry's law? How is, that plays important role in order to decide the solubility. Let's take overview of this. Firstly, try to understand the statement. So what Henry's law state that? The statement of law is that solubility of a gas is directly proportional to the pressure above the gas in solution. Now, this is once again statement of Henry's law as we look over this point. So, what it states that, as we discuss, the law states that solubility of a gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the solution. Okay, so this is the statement of Henry's law, but how that is mathematically proven? Most of the time in exam for 2 mark this question comes, state and explain Henry's law. So this is the statement of Henry's law. Now how that is explained, as if you try to describe that mathematically one can express like this: S is directly proportional to P. So what is this? Solubility is directly proportional to the pressure. To cancel this proportionality sign, we get a constant of proportionality. What we get? Yes, solubility is equal to KH into P, where S is the solubility of a gas in liquid, right? S is the solubility of a gas in liquid, that is expressing unit, that is moles per liter. Second, that is pressure. P stand for pressure. Pressure one can express in bar, that is barometer. And KH, it is a proportionality constant. It is called as Henry's law constant. Now unit of KH, that is Henry's law constant. As we know that S is equal to KH into P. For representation of unit of KH, one can write formula like this: KH is equal to S upon P. KH is equal to S upon P. This is the solubility, P is the pressure. As we mentioned, solubility one can express in terms of moles per liter, and pressure is in barometer. So from unit of solubility and pressure, one can get the unit of KH, that is Henry's law's constant. So KH is equal to moles per liter upon bar, or moles per liter per bar. Moles per liter per bar, right? So this is about the unit of KH or unit of Henry's law constant. So dear student, this is about the Henry's law. For demonstration purpose, I would like to introduce an example of cold drinks. Right? Uh, Simple coding. If you try to take the example of Sprite, as we know that if you try to open the cap of that particular bottle, so it is observed that that liquid present in that come out with high speed. So how that is happening? It is happened because by packing of these cold drink pack bottles, carbon dioxide gas pressurized into that liquid, that is cold drinks, in that pressure. जैसे हमने पढ़ा Henry's law, as we increase the pressure of the gas in solution, it is observed that solubility of that particular gas in liquid increases. The same thing happened here when carbon dioxide gas and the pressure pass into that cold drink bottle, its solubility increases. But as soon as if you try to open the cap, pressure decreases and solubility of the gas in liquid also decreases. So because of that, lot of liquid from that bottle comes out. So that is the demonstration of Henry's law. Okay, dear students, basically हमने देखा Henry's law. It's a mathematical expression and demonstration of Henry's law. Now we would like to discuss some exceptional cases for the Henry's law. Now, which are the exceptional cases for Henry's law? So, exceptional cases like gas like ammonia and carbon dioxide does not obey Henry's law. So, why ammonia and carbon dioxide gas does not obey Henry's law? Because these gases are highly soluble in water. In previous lecture we discussed one of the points, that is solubility depend upon both the nature of solvent and solute. That is totally based on the principle that is called as like dissolve like. So same thing happened here. NH3, ammonia, and CO2, carbon dioxide, these gases are polar in nature, and if you try to mix them in liquid water, it is observed that they show greater solubility in that water. So what happens, what kind of reactions are takes place over there? The reaction takes place like this. NH3, ammonia, when react with water, it produces NH4 plus ion as well as OH minus ion. Similarly, carbon dioxide, when dissolved in water, it produces H2CO3, that is called as bicarbonic acid. Means when these gases are passed into the liquid water, because of their polar nature, they show greater solubility. They react, these gases directly react with what molecules. So we say these are the exceptions to the Henry's law. They does not obey Henry's law. Okay, dear student, this is overall about the Henry's law and exceptional cases of Henry's law. Now, next point of the chapter, that is vapor pressure of solution of liquid in liquid. For that purpose, I would like to introduce an example of an binary solution. Now, what is binary solution? Binary stands for two components. If you try to mix two components together, we get an solution that is called as binary solution. For that purpose, let's look over this demonstration. Suppose we have two liquid component A1 and component A2. Okay, now these are the two liquid components. If we try to mix them together, we get a mixture. Now this is now two component mixture, that is a binary solution. Now suppose these two components are volatile. If these two components are volatile, then what we observe? Now this suppose container is open, so what we observe? Because these two components present in this container are volatile in nature, they start to vaporize. They start to form the vapor and try to mix into the atmosphere because container is open, right? Now consider the case. Suppose this container is now closed. तो मैंने यहाँ पे क्या करा, ये जो कंटेनर है उसको क्लोज कर दिया है. So what we observe now whatever vapor are produced in this container, they does not goes out of this container because container is closed. So what happens, it स्टार्ट टू फॉर्म वेपर, बट वेपर जो अभी बन रहा है वो कंटेनर से बाहर नहीं जा रहा है, तो इसका मतलब वेपर्स आर ऑल एक्यूमुलेटेड इन दिस कंटेनर ओनली. सो वो पूरे का पूरा जो वेपर रहेगा वो कहाँ रहेगा, यहाँ पे जो एम्प्टी स्पेस है यहाँ पे आएगा, राइट. So what happens after certain time, it is observed that lot of vapor are accumulated over here. They try to collide with each other, also they collide with the walls of container. So what happens finally, their thermal energy decreases and this liquid vapor again start to condense, they again start to convert into liquid state. Now there are two processes that takes place simultaneously in this container. Firstly evaporation, second one condensation of liquid. So when these two processes occurs at same rate, that stage called as equilibrium stage. When equilibrium is reached, then it is observed that partial pressure of these components are related to their mole fraction. Partial pressure of these two components related to their mole fraction. How they are related together? For that purpose, we would like to discuss an Raoult law. What is Raoult law? What is it? Some mathematical expression. That is our next point of discussion. Okay, now Raoult's law. What is statement of Raoult's law? It states that the partial vapor pressure of any volatile component of a solution is equal to the vapor pressure of the pure component multiplied by some mole fraction. The statement, the law states that partial vapor pressure of any volatile component of the solution is equal to vapor pressure of the pure component multiplied by its mole fraction in the solution. For that purpose, again you have to consider an binary solution. For understanding purpose or mathematical proof of Raoult's law, once again try to understand. Suppose we have an binary solution. Binary solution, that means a two component solution. Suppose we have an solution of two volatile liquid component A1 and A2. Both are volatile, no doubt, both produces their vapor. Now P1 and P2 are their partial vapor pressure. Means component A1 partial vapor pressure is P1 and component A2 partial vapor pressure is P2. Similarly, X1 and X2 are their mole fraction. X1 is the mole fraction of A1. A1 का partial vapor pressure P1 and mole fraction X1. Similarly, for component A2, partial vapor pressure is P2 and mole fraction is denoted by X2. Now, जैसे कि हमने अभी डिस्कस किया है रॉल्ट लॉ का मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. तो रॉल्ट लॉ अभी जो हमने डिस्कस किया है, तो दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू व्हाट इज से P1 is equal to P1 into X1. P1, that is a partial vapor pressure, right? So in statement we mention partial vapor pressure of any component is equal to the vapor pressure of that component, pure component, and its mole fraction. Suppose for component A1, P1 is what? Partial vapor pressure. P1 is vapor pressure of A1 and X1 is a mole fraction of that component A1. So it is the product. P1 is the product of P1 X1. Similarly, for component A2, partial vapor pressure given by P2. So P2 is equal to what? P2 into X2. So it is the product. The product like this case P2 is the vapor pressure of component A2. Right? P2, it is vapor pressure of component A2. So P2 is equal to P2 into X2. P2 into X2. X2 is mole fraction of that component A2. Okay. Okay. Now, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, Dalton's law. That is one of the law we discussed in 11th standard in chapter states of matter, right? So according to that Dalton's law, friends, you might be know that Dalton's law. What is statement I would like to introduce once again. Dalton's law for you. Statement of Dalton's law is the total pressure of a mixture of two or more non-reactive gases is the sum of partial pressure of individual gases in the mixture. Total pressure of two or more non-reactive gases is the sum of partial pressure of individual gases. So P total is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on, P1, P2, P3. These are the partial pressure that we already discussed in 11th standard. So same law we have to use here. So according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, total pressure P above the solution is what? P is equal to P is what? Total pressure is equal to P1 plus P2. P1 is P stand for total pressure, P1 is partial vapor pressure of component A1 and P2 is partial vapor pressure of component number 2, right? So अभी हमने लॉ में देखा है what is expression for P1 and P2. Now that value are to put up here. Now equation becomes P total pressure P is equal to P1 x1 plus P2 x2. This value हमने कहा है from Rod's law, right? फ्रेंड्स जैसे कि मैंने जो बोला ये जो हम डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं दैट इज फॉर बाइनरी सॉल्यूशन, दैट इज फॉर टू कंपोनेंट सॉल्यूशन. फॉर बाइनरी सॉल्यूशन मोल फ्रैक्शन दैट इज x1 plus x2 always equal to 1. x1 is the mole fraction of component number 1 for A1, x2 is the mole fraction of component number 2 that is x2, x1 plus x2 always equal to 1. Therefore, one can write x1 is equal to 1 minus x2. x1 is equal to 1 minus x2. Now put up the value of x1 in our equation, right? जो भी क्या करने वाले हैं x1 का वैल्यू यहाँ पे पुट अप करने वाले हैं. So equation become like this. P is equal to P1 into bracket 1 minus x2 plus P2 into x2. Now try to solve this bracket. Okay. So after solving this we get P is equal to P1 minus P1 x2. इसको हमने P1 से 1 को और x2 को मल्टीप्लाई किया तो ब्रैकेट पर हमने सॉल्व किया है प्लस P2 x2 as it is. Okay. Now from this second term we have to take x2 common. Now after taking x2 common what we get? We take x2 common, we get total pressure P is equal to P2 minus P1 out of the bracket x2 plus P1. From this x1, x2, x1 common less, so remaining is what? P1 minus P1 plus P2. तो हमने क्या रिप्रेजेंट किया है? P2 minus P1 x2. P1 हमने as it is right? So this is the mathematical expression for the Rod law. अभी रॉड लॉ हमने जो डिस्कस किया है उसके लिए वन ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है. देन वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ द चैप्टर दैट इज colligative property. So which are the colligative property? What is that term? All this point we are going to discuss in our next lecture. So आज के लिए बस इतना ही. थैंक यू.